Hey guys, my name is David Kim and I am bringing you another First Look Code Wars video. First Look is when I am seeing the problem for the first time and we're going to solve it together. You're going to see my thought process and how I tackle things and how I debug if that happens. And so there should be a card on the top right corner that links to other First Look videos, and at the end I'll give another card for other level 7 questions. This is a level 7 question called Remove the Minimum, and so let's get to it. The Museum of Incredible Dull Things. The Museum of Incredible Dull Things wants to get rid of some exhibitions. Miriam, the interior architect, comes up with a plan to remove the most boring exhibition. She gives them a rating and removes the one with the lowest rating. However, just as she finishes rating all exhibitions, she is off to an important fair. So she asks you to write a program that tells her the ratings of the items after one removed. After one removed the lowest one. Does that mean me? After you removed the lowest one? Fair enough. Task. Given an array of integers, remove the smallest value. Do not mutate the original array or list. If there are multiple elements with the same value, remove the one with the lower index. If you get an empty array list, return an empty array list. Don't change the order of the elements that are left. Okay, cool. So we are given, what was that? I get rid of that. So we are given an array of numbers and we simply have to find the lowest one. Since we have to look at all of them, the time complexity is going to be O of n at the best, or that's linear time complexity, because we have to at least see everyone. If we don't see everyone, we never know if we missed the last or if we really missed the truly lowest one or not. And so they never say we have to do it like in place or anything. So we can just simply have a lowest variable, and it'll have the lowest and it'll have the lowest position index, which makes the use of objects good for this one. And we will just, yeah, we'll go from there. I think that's a good plan. Iterate through the numbers. If there's a low, grab the low and grab the index of it. We'll put that in an object so that has a key and value, and update it if there's something lower. And if not, we'll just remove the first one. And if we see the same one, we won't replace it. So let lowest, yeah, well, we'll just call it low, and it'll be an object. And so we'll use a for loop to iterate through the numbers. I is less than numbers dot length I plus plus. Okay, cool. So as we go through here, how about we do this? We have a negative infinity, and we have that point to 0. Cool, and I believe that's how you do it. I think it's in Ruby where you have to do the arrow. I think this is right. Let obj, I'm just gonna double check. 1, 2, obj, yeah, obj of 1. Cool. Did that right. But I spelled that wrong, infinity. Okay, cool. So if numbers of I is less than, or how about this? We'll call it num, we'll call that negative infinity, and we'll do an IDX. And we'll just do that. If numbers is less than that, is less than, what do you mean by that? Low of num. If it's less than low of num, then that way we don't, because if negative infinity, if the number itself was the value or the key, then that didn't really make sense. I could never really replace it, or at least not in an intuitive way. And so I decided to call it num so that we can replace the num. So low of num equals numbers of I, and low of idx is equal to the I. And we also have to, we'll remove it at the end. So that's what will happen. We'll iterate through it twice, pretty much, creating the low object. And so now, let's see, they say don't mutate the array, right? 1 was there, okay, cool. 1, they removed that. And there is no number that's less than or equal to, so if we have the same number, it's pretty much not going to even go into if loop, or if the if conditional. And so we don't have to worry about the same numbers, worrying about which index we're tackling. At this point, let's, actually we could just simply return it. We could return, or they say don't mutate, right? Where does it say that? Don't change the order, okay, given array. Do not mutate the original array list, okay. So we will just return a slice version of it. Return, actually no, it doesn't even need to be sliced. Or does it? Yeah, it needs to be sliced. Numbers dot slice of, let's see, 0, 2, and it's going to be this index, low idx, and that the end is exclusive, so we're not going to hit that idx, and we are not going to add it. We're going to concat it, because when you add arrays in JavaScript, something really bad happens. Dot slice, and we're going to go from low idx plus 1 to the end. And we need another paren there. Cool. And so what happened here, if we want to go over this real quick, numbers, we are getting an array, something like this. And let's use this as our example to walk through. The low, that's our object. Num is infinity, negative infinity, which kind of guarantees that, or no, we had to have it at infinity. That way, the first number we hit is going to actually be lower, and therefore replace our infinity inside this low object. And so at first, numbers of I is going to be the 5 here. And that means the index is 0. And so 5 is less than infinity. Okay, cool. So now in this low object, we're going to replace these key value pairs with the num is going to be the 5, and the index is going to be 0, because that's the index there. We go to 3, and it changes again because 3 is less than 5. And once we get to 2, it changes again. And once we get to the 1, it changes again. So at this point, 1 is the low of num is 1. Low of index is 3. And now once we hit the 4, numbers of I, or pretty much 4 is not less than 1, and so it won't go through that. Later on at this return, we slice from 0 to low, and if it happened to be the first number that we're slicing out, we don't have to worry about that either, because if we slice a 0 and a 0, we get nothing. And so for like this problem right here, if 1 was the one we're trying to slice out, we'll have an empty array concatenating with something like that. And so that's what this second part does. We slice the numbers from the low index plus 1 to the end. And if it was the last number that we're cutting out, and I know in this example that's the one we're cutting out, but if it's the last number we're cutting out, then likewise we don't have to worry about that, because say this is say we were trying to cut out the 3, or I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but pretty much if the last number is the 3 that we're trying to cut out, we would have cut it out from the slice, and at this point, if it was 3 here, we're going to get an empty array again. And so I'm pretty confident this will work. No, it didn't work. Let's see. Num is not defined. Num's right here. Alright, what line number? No line numbers. Wait, no, 11? Huh. Numbers, not slice. No, this is not line numbers they're giving us. But it says num is not defined, so let's see. Num infinity. Okay, maybe putting that in quotes. IDX. That might have been the issue. Nope, num is not defined. Where are they getting this problem from? Num's right here. What's wrong with that? Low of num. Maybe they don't like this. So are they at least getting here? Console.sol.log. Oh gosh, here. Yeah, we are getting there. So are we getting in this for loop? We are. Make sure. Okay, but are we getting in this if statement? No, we're not getting this if statement because they're not reading this low of num. So I'm kind of curious as to why low of num. Low of num is not defined. What the freak? Does that need to be in quotes? Oh, what the heck? Huh. I thought that was alright, but I guess not. That is really weird. OBJ, because that works. And I didn't have to put these in quotes. Let's see. Low of high equals that high is not defined. Okay. Yeah. Maybe it's just been too long since I worked with objects, but hey, I think the problem's fixed. No, it's not. Alright, smallest IDX is not defined. Freaking what? It's right here. Ah, down here. These need to be changed. Okay. Changed. Attempt. There we go. Okay. Finally passed. It was just the problem there was the way I was tapping into these objects. Cool. And so looks like that works. If you found this helpful, if you enjoyed it, be sure to check out my other videos of level 7 first look problems, and like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much. This was Remove the Minimum.